that's a £500,000 asset. That's a £2,000 cash flow position on that property. So that's what that means to me. So I'm going to do whatever it takes, speak to whoever I need to speak to, get uncomfortable with whoever I need to get uncomfortable to do the deal.
Make it happen.
Exactly.
Yes, my people, you are locked into another episode of the Money Ties podcast with your boy Clarence K, also known as CK Talks Money. And today we are blessed with another guest, an award-winning property investor. You know, I like to introduce my guests well. We have Alfred Dzadey, my guy.
Thank you, bro. Thanks for the invite.
You, man. No worries.
It's been a long one coming, and so I've been messing around with the
For
time
real,
and everything,
man.
but finally we made it here.
I always feel like the Ghanaians always take longer to book their day. I don't know why, but just saying. But bro, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Not bad.
Sick. And what you been up to, man? What's new with you?
Obviously, almost end of the year. Yeah. Just wrapping up on things. Cool. Traveling a bit towards the end of the year. I'll be in Ghana for Christmas. Cool, nice. Always.
Yeah. What they call it, Dirty December, have you?
I'm not really there to like. Do you know what I mean? I'm there to network, enjoy myself, enjoy food.
Sick.
You might see me out here and there, please.
Yeah. Mind your business.
Mind your business.
You know? Respectfully, mind your business.
Honestly, but
that's sick, man. So tell us a bit about your journey. So you're a property investor. You're also the co-author of the TED Talks book as well.
Yeah.
So tell us a bit about what you do, how you started out in.
Yeah, just want to kind of spin it back a bit. So actually, I grew up in Ghana. I was born in the UK.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But grew up in Ghana until about age of 11. Came to the UK. Mom kind of said, "Do you want to hang around?" Because I was taken to Ghana because it would have been hard for her whilst working, looking after me. So my grandma, my auntie back in Ghana kind of raised me until about age of 11.
Okay.
And then at that age, you can kind of sustain yourself a little bit in terms of like looking after yourself and not be that dependent on your parents.
Got you.
Needing you all the time, needing to help you out all the time. So yeah, came to the UK. Obviously, come from Ghana to the UK. Like, damn, this place was lit.
That is different still.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna stick around. So got into primary school, secondary school, all of that. Fast track uni. Went to Hertfordshire. So UH. Yeah, UH guys, if you know, you know.
We always knew that as the party uni. I'm just saying. We always knew that as the party uni.
Listen. It was. I can't even afford. Like, it was a great time. Great time. But everyone knows me when I went to uni. I was the serious guy who can. Everyone always asks, how do you still party hard and still do the uni stuff? And I was in the. Whenever anybody asks what you do, like engineering, aerospace engineering, they're like, oh, that sounds so mad. How do you, bro, the way you're out all the time, like, how do you do it?
I thought you were just there for bants.
Yeah, no, bro. I was serious about my uni degree, trying to get through that. So I guess I had friendship groups. I had friendship groups that kind of learn, study, like, all be in libraries all day long. Night times, like, I'm a different person.
Late shifts.
I'm out. I'm out with a different crowd of people, just out partying, whatever, and house parties, all that stuff. It's good, man. I loved it, man. Good time.
Hey, big up the UH lot, man. I can tell Alfred enjoyed it. The spark in Alfred's body when he said
energy,
UH.
The energy. Yeah, everyone knows, man. Everyone knows.
He enjoyed himself, but sick, man.
So yeah, coming out of that, I got a job, a contracting job. So I was fortunate. Like, I think 2 months after my exams.
Okay.
Got this contracting job at Jaguar Land Rover as a project manager.
Okay, cool.
So that was kind of my corporate background. That was my first real job outside of uni.
Real world job, yeah.
So yeah, that was kind of the stepping stone for me, because obviously it was a good starting salary, 40 grand a year.
Okay.
And then just kind of evolved through that, like, just first year your gas, 40 grand starting, enjoying yourself, holidays, doing whatever. And I was very good at saving. So I wasn't a big spender. I've never really been a big spender. Yeah. So I was just really just on saving the money. So at the time, maybe my expenditure was maybe most $1,000.
Got you.
So bro, like I could save easy 2 grand. Not even. So it was very easy for me to save. I wasn't living this lavish life and trying to live up to the money I'm earning or whatever, blah blah.
Why not though?
Because I guess I've come from a background where I've not really had much. So I'm not, and I was never, bro, even to this day, like, I have money now, trust me. And I don't even label stuff I don't buy. Like, you won't see me, LV.
Respect it.
Like, I'm trying to think, I think the stuff that I have that are labeled are all been gifts. I think I bought 1 pair of lubes, and that was like even like a discount thing ages ago. But most stuff, if it is label, it's been a gift. I don't really, you won't see me shopping in LVs, like £1,000 and some trainers.
Guys, I'm gonna need you to be watching now. If you catch this boy in Harrods, I beg, just shout,
bro. You can't catch me. You can't catch me. It's like I don't even step in those shops.
It won't even be there.
Because again, I think stepping in those shops, because I'm someone, if I like something, there's no price. The price is relevant.
Yeah.
Like, especially where I am now, for sure. I'm more about convenience, experience. Like, if I like something, I'm going to pay, I'm going to ask questions. I just want to do that thing. I want that thing. I'm paying for it, end of story.
Yeah.
So I do know, I guess, I'm not trying to tempt myself by being in those environments and therefore even think, oh, let me just buy this top. Like, I still think, bro, I have a t-shirt, £300 for...
Crazy.
Like, I'm like, yo, how do you lot make sense of these numbers? I don't think I can spend creative to numbers in a bit, but I've been known to spend money on like personal development stuff, way more crazy numbers than that.
Yeah.
But I kind of like to spend money on information or access to information. Right. That's where I see myself spending money. I don't care. Again, price at that point is irrelevant to me because I know the value I'll get in return of doing so. But just kind of bringing it back to kind of the journey. So yeah, corporate world, loved it, amazing, bro. Drove all the cars. All the cars you guys are guessing about, Land Rover, whatever, Range Rover. Like for me, I don't value
light work.
I don't value that side of that side of the business. But there was another. So working at Jaguar Land Rover, you have the base vehicle, what you guys kind of majority will kind of see on road, and then you have the special vehicle operation side of it. That's where the mindset kind of changed as well because there's a different level of wealth of people that buy in those type of cars.
Different conversations.
Bro, people are spending like 20, 30 grand on paint, just the paint alone. Bro, the wheels, so you can kind of, because it's bespoke to the base vehicle, so you can kind of upgrade your car to wherever you want. And these guys are like taking it to another level of like, they're taking pride in the vehicle that they're being driven in.
Quality.
So that, getting exposed to that level of, I guess, the clients that would buy those type of cars, and obviously the engineering, us engineering the products for those clients.
Of course,
took me to another space. We even got like an induction thing of what does our typical client who buys from special vehicle operations look like? And again, they're all business owners, restaurant chain owners, just like silly money. Because bro, you can spend 200-300 grand easily. Just kitting up the car. Yeah. So in my mind, I'm thinking, what level of person? What do they do? How are they able to be in a position to chuck? And some might buy two or two at the same time, or like because they like that one too, can't decide. So they're getting both. I'm like, geez, this is a different type of wealth.
Big money.
So for me, I think I've always aspired to be young, wealthy young.
Yeah.
And I kind of wanted to, again, I kind of realized in the vehicle I was, which is the corporate world, being a project manager, I wasn't going to see 200, 300, 400 grand, even £1 million a year doing the role. Like I researched, again, so stupid, but I only started to research what my earning potential was in that role after like 2 years of being, or I think a year and a half of being in that role.
Yeah.
And I realized I look tops senior project manager, looking at 100, 150 grand.
Yeah.
And that's 5 to 10 years of experience moving around. And I'm like, look, just clearly the wrong vehicle. So that's where property came from.
Yeah.
And that's what I kind of started to get myself immersed in, got education, paid education. Nice. I believed in just getting access to information quickly, as opposed to trying to figure out myself. I guess I was fortunate to have money around me to be able to invest in those courses in the first place because you didn't obviously, you're working on your income until you can afford to do those things.
Yeah.
But yeah, fast forward to today, obviously won multiple awards as a property investor, entrepreneur. So yeah, I've done okay so far. Everyone kind of thinks I've done a lot, but in my opinion, there's a lot to go. There's a lot to do. This is just foundation stuff at the moment.
No, big up you, man. And firstly, that whole only checking on Google about the salaries after 2 years.
Yeah,
I don't think that's stupid at all. Because I feel as if you come out of uni, you're just been given 40k. You're thinking, I am the man. You're thinking, I am so up. Like, talk to me nice is what you're probably thinking.
No, I wasn't that arrogant, but I used to people probably won't believe it because they think I'm such a big thinker now, but this has all evolved over time. But I used to think, earn 60k a year and you're set, like you're good. Like,
so did I.
Bro, and only to realize that I could spend, right now, probably this year alone, I probably spend 60k on just personal development.
Of course.
Not talking about bills, not talking about paying employees, all of that stuff. So yeah, once upon a time, Alfred used to think 60k was good salary to have.
And it's just, when you look at those principles that you have, earlier you said that you've never been a big spender.
Yeah.
It's kind of where you come from. And it's actually a common trend I find with young black people who've actually grown up back home. They're not usually wasteful.
Yeah, that's the word. I was taught right. If you've been brought up in an African country, you're taught to not be that keyword and not be wasteful. Because bro, there's people that don't even know what they're gonna eat tomorrow. Like I've seen a different level of poverty that some people are not even aware of that even exist on this planet. Like it's mad. So like I've seen all levels of wealth, like literally poverty, like not even light is a blessing. A phone in their hands is a blessing. People, this thing we have, people take for granted. Oh yeah, I've got access to information. Like some people don't even have this phone in their hand. Yeah. So I'm very appreciative to where I am, how I've been given the opportunity to be able to earn, or even to be in the right rooms, all that stuff. So bro, like being from those backgrounds has definitely helped or shaped who I am today.
Man, no, for real. And how important is money to you, would you say?
Bro, it's like I said, because I think this is what, for me, money is everything from the point of view of like, I've seen different levels of wealth, from poverty to ultra high net worths. Yeah. And I know how those environments are like for those different individuals. And I see what money can do for people. So money is a tool, money is a vehicle. It's not the end all. Like health is more important than money. Like time is more important than money. But time, money helps you do a lot of things in life. Unfortunately, like you can't do a lot of things on this planet without money.
Without the monetary,
yeah. So it has to be up there. So I understand as a vehicle, and I understand that as well. I have control when I have money. You can decide what happens. What happens if I want to fly out tomorrow? I can fly out tomorrow. If I want to retire mom, I can retire mom. If I want to look after mom, I can look after. Like I'm given the luxury of options, as opposed to being told I have to do this just because I need. And you
need bread, and that's the word I always look for. It's that options word.
Yeah,
and that's the difference sometimes between having and not having. You know, and would you say that growing up back home, would you say that any of the, let's say, principles you have around money were taught to you back home? So I'm not talking about having a session in the living room about savings or what a savings account is, but is there anything that you remember from being young that has shaped who you are with money today, let's say?
Yeah, I feel like I'm a good manager of money. Yeah. Bro, even though I have money today, like I can still be sensible and not. I can spend money. I do spend money. Yeah. But like I think that whole culture of being in an African country and just like you could, I can if all I have is £100, I can manage £100. If I have £100,000, I can manage £100,000. So. Like that key word you mentioned, I think that I'm gonna start using that word. Not being wasteful. Literally not being wasteful. Is like,
how do you say it in your native language?
I don't even know.
What's the word that
I don't even know. Yeah. Like you can't say it's a, Ghanaian like tree is like a weird. You kind of mix tree with English. Yeah, it's weird, but there isn't like a specific
word for wasteful.
Yeah. But yeah, so for me, like just my background, my grandma. I bring in and just kind of managing what you have, and like, do you know what I mean? Just it's kind of even today, like I do certain things. People are like, why do you like my boy messaged me today? Like, bro, you still take public transport? I'm like, yeah, what's wrong with that? It's fast and effective,
bro. It's bad me because the day that I was on the train and you lot were laughing at me in my story. I had about 4 of my brethren be like, bro, you want to try? You want to bus? Like, what's wrong with you? I think, what do you mean, bro? Like, I'm going across London.
Yeah, it's more. I
don't want to pay congestion today. I'd rather jump on the train. Like, I get it.
Yeah, I get it. So don't get me wrong. Yeah, you get to a point where some of these things, you might be chauffeured around. Yeah. I'm not at a stage where I'm going to be chauffeured around everywhere I go. Like, but soon come for sure, bro. I want to have a full-time PT. I want to have a full-time chef. Yeah. Being chauffeured around. These are all on my list, like must hires. And you're like, bro. And again, I've seen people that are wealthy that have got to the position where they used to be on public transport, and now they're in a position where they don't have to do that thing no more. They have their choice. If they want to get on public transport for that day, they can. It's an option, but they don't have to.
And how much would you have to be making? What number is in your head to say, once I make this amount, what bus, what train, I'll say, oh yeah, let's call him Jeffrey for the sake of Fresh Prince. Jeffrey, please bring the, was it 7? Are you a BM man? Are you a Rolls Royce?
Yeah.
Jeffrey, please bring the Wraith round. Come and take me to the markets.
This is Nigerians. Nigerians, bro. You lot just love the image so much. It's crazy. I'm going to Nigeria for the first time in January. I just can't wait.
Good luck.
I can't wait to see you lot. Anyways. I feel like so everyone kind of obviously back in the day everyone's like, oh, become a millionaire, you're set.
Okay.
I think the new million is 10 million in my opinion.
Cool.
I feel like you can, even at 10 million you can still go broke. Like people have gone to billion and still been broke. So Like I feel like 10 million is very hard to destruct, but it can be destructed. Is the point?
In the wrong hands.
In the wrong hands. And generally speaking, as well, if you're making a level of money, you have a definitely high expenditure.
Yeah.
Like I've gone from a point where I was talking about managing £1,000 expenses, bro. I'm like 10, 15, 20. Some months my build contracts alone could be like 10 grand a week. So that's 40 grand just on the build works.
Yeah.
Not to my employees, not to my personal bills, home mortgage, my car.
It's even more.
So do you know what I mean? So it could be 50 grand a month just on bills.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
do
literally,
you know what I mean? Not in investments and like into myself or anything, or even just like my lifestyle, what I get up to and stuff. So I say a few million. Because to be fair, a chauffeur, you could pay a chauffeur 50 grand a year. He'll chauffeur you around everywhere.
Yeah.
So
true.
If you have that budgeted and you can afford to, so you probably don't even need, it can be even 500,000. But for me, I'll probably say 500,000. I can't make sense of spending 50 grand on an employee unless I know if that chauffeur is doing, i.e., I can still be operating in the back of the car. It's very valuable to me in the time I'm going out to win £1 million contracts.
Yeah.
So that makes a lot of sense. I would pay for someone to then have to not worry about driving, traffic, all that stuff. They can plan in my routes, all that stuff, planning my days.
Got you.
So I get it from that perspective. I think it's just relative to what you're doing, and if that value, i.e., hiring that person, brings a bigger exchange
to what you're looking to do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
no, exactly. Anyone in the next 2-3 years, you're looking for a job, starting salary 50k apparently.
I'm not quitting. Whoever I'm hiring is like, no, Alfred's at 50k. I'm not taking anything less than 50k.
Remember you saw it here. The video will still be on YouTube, so you can't try and worm and say, no, it's 25.
Listen, I'll bring someone from Ghana, man, and give them a job, bro. So listen, half the price, done. They're so grateful, man. Give them accommodation as well. Like,
it's true, man.
Do you know what I mean?
No, sick, Alfred. No, I like that, man. And when it comes to your principles around money, would you say that there's a close relationship between your principles around money in your personal life and how you also handle money in your business life? Because being a property investor, there's an element of risk that you take.
Yeah.
And would you say that same element of risk, let's say, if it is risk we're talking about, is the same when it comes to your personal money, or is that only when it comes to business deals?
Yeah, no, I think you have to be the same in both.
Okay.
Like the saying, how you do something, how you do anything is how you do everything. So I do believe you have to, like, it's foundations. If you can't get the foundations right, i.e., if you can't manage £100, you can't manage £1,000, you can't manage £100,000. So your I guess your way of thinking of how you manage money has to be the same in your business and in your personal life. Like I don't know anybody that does different things.
Yeah.
On both elements. That's a bit weird. I think, but yeah, for me, my principles of my personal life is how I've kind of evolved, and I've taken that into business. Obviously, working in the corporate world as well, I've learned how the corporate guys manage money as well. How they kind of double checking stuff before they sign stuff off and all that stuff. So again, when you go into business, then you're taking that into business. So I'm very observant. I'm very curious as well. I always ask questions. Like I'm never shy to ask someone how they made their money or how they go about building wealth or how did they get to this room.
I have to be inquisitive, man.
And that's all that's difference between me. Some people just see people like build wealth or even see people with wealth and would be envious and like, oh, this guy's showing off. I'm like, bro, I'm trying to chat to this guy. Like, how'd you get that rich meal?
Yeah. Like, let's talk about it.
Let's talk business. Like, how'd you get to where you are? How'd you get that Lambo? How'd you buy this £10 million home? Like, how'd you own this £100 million business? Like, talk me through, like, what happened for you? And I'm trying to just pick. And there's a shortcut. Again, you might have a chance to be in those rooms as these people, because these are high-level guys. They're not in any room. You don't want to see them in your, I don't know, your shopping mall, or you don't want to see them around. It's whatever is the point I'm trying to make. They're in like high-level rooms, high-level places, places where people spend 10,000 just to be in the room for like private members clubs. So if you can't get access to those kind of places, the cheapest way is YouTube. YouTube has all the information you ever need in terms of. There are podcasts like this where people are being interviewed and talking about their life experiences, how they've got to where they are, their challenges, how they've made it to where they are. And you're just picking up these nuggets. And I always say, like, even this podcast you listen, just pick up one thing that you can take away and go and implement. You can't absorb everything that's being said in here. I'm sorry.
It's not realistic.
It's not realistic. So just take that. You're searching, whenever I watch anything or even go into a room or anything I'm absorbing or listening to, I'm just needing one information that I know this is applicable to me and I can go and implement right now and move forward with that. That's it.
That's amazing, bro. And on the financial side, the last thing I'll probably say is there anything that you know about money now that you wish you knew when you were younger?
Don't be afraid to spend money on acquiring information or accessing information. Every time for me, anyways, I can speak from my experience. What's happened for me. Every time I have spent money on acquiring information or getting access to information or being in a certain room, my level of think or my level of what I thought was possible was now expanded. I'm big on like just get exposure. Like traveling, even simple things like just traveling to another country. That gives you a whole different lens. Oh, you've been to another country, things are pretty different here. And again, 100%. I guess it's that curiosity in me. Like I'm always analyzing, bro. If I'm trying to look at what's happening, why is this person this? Why is that person that? Why does this person have this level of wealth that? Why is that person doesn't have that? What's the culture like here? Like how is things happening? And how are people getting to different levels of wealth?
Of course.
So for me, that's big. And
what's the most you spent on acquiring that information? Would you say, if you were to give?
I've spent various levels, but like I'm going to do it relative to time as well. So 25 grand on the 2-day mastermind. Technically, it was probably more because it was $25,000.
Yeah.
And it cost me another $5,000 to get flights there, and the hotel room was $1,005 a night. So this is again. So again, this
Vegas.
No, I wasn't in Vegas. This is a place I didn't even know existed. This is in Mexico, Las Cabos.
Okay.
Beautiful place, bro. Like again, just put it into context. Someone's spending $1,005 a night to be in a facility, a room, but bro, the experience, the service, the restaurants. Jesus, like
different
again,
level.
Bro. I've never experienced. When I did that, I was so proud of myself that I took upon myself to say, you know what, I'm going to invest into myself, be in this room, be in this place. I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. Obviously, I knew who was going to be there and stuff, but when I got there, bro, like my body just felt, bro, it just felt different. I can't.
Ginger was just,
bro. It's like I've never experienced anything like that. Like, I was even getting gassed by my family because I was meant to, bro. I had to sacrifice a lot because so I flown to Miami, and the plan was I was meant to meet up with my family on the weekend for barbecue. So,
okay, cool.
So I was meant to fly back on a Friday, and the thing was starting. So I meant to fly back on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
After the boot camp, whatever. And so I extended my flights in Miami to take a flight from Miami to Mexico.
Yeah.
Had to call my parents and say, my cousins and all, like, you lot enjoy the barbecue, but I need to go to this thing. So I've paid 25 G's to be at this place I need to go.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to catch up another time. So I was like, when I got there, I was like, nah, these lot need to see what this
what's going on. Yeah.
Because I've never seen anything like it, never experienced it like it. And again, it just shows the type of people that these high level people where they want to hang around. Because obviously they picked the location. They decided to take a yacht. I can't tell you how big the yacht is, but bro, it wasn't one of those. There was 30 of us, but it wasn't one of those crumped. It's a big boy. No, it's big boy. There's multiple rooms, a full bar, any drink you want was there, food available, bro. Like seafood, everything. Like, bro, different experience, man. Like, damn. And that's probably the most I spent relative to time. I spend money all the time, bro. Like I'm probably upwards of 100 grand in personal development, education, access to getting into rooms.
Bro,
easily.
Good on you. That's amazing, man. That's literally real self-investment.
Yeah, man.
Of course, if people always say, "Oh, invest in yourself," but that's literally what investing in yourself is.
Yeah, this is the saying. I say, look, there's no people want it. I think we're in a society where, like, for example, property is so like glamorous. It's the most marketed thing in terms of outside the corporate world. Or get a property, buy a home, get married, all that stuff. Yeah. That's all great. Like I bought my home, I'm not married, all that stuff yet. But the point I'm trying to make is people are so fixated on achieving these things. And I'm like, if you want to start investing, there's no. But I always say to my investors, everybody, like, I am my biggest and best investment ever. Like, nothing, no property performs better than me. Investment, whatever, performs better than me. Like I am my best investment. So I'm always firstly going to invest in myself. The ripple effect of me investing in myself is always in the millions. So like, it's a no-brainer. Like, why would I not?
Yeah. Sick, man.
People need to kind of get out of the mindset of, this guy's charging 10 grand for his time. Like, yeah, I've paid, like you just heard me say, like, but again, put it into context. There was a billionaire in the room, multi-millionaires. I got to find out businesses that are doing 50 million from as low as probably like maybe 10 million in revenue to about 50 million in revenue. And then just forget about the guys, the ultra high, they're on another level, like hundreds of millions. They got a 5 billion real estate portfolio, all these things. So like, there's one guy I had a dinner with the night before. Bro, we were just having chit chats. We weren't really getting into business. We're just having chats. I was talking about business, but in the next morning we had to do introductions. Yeah. And this guy stood up and he's like, oh yeah. Because he's going through his numbers, like he makes 7.5 million a year working in this $1 billion companies at exec level. He has a 20 million fund where he's been managed at Morgan Stanley for him. He has 1,000 units in real estate. And I was like, bro, that's the guy I was sat next to in dinner last night. And bro, you wouldn't have even associated those two things together. Like, obviously, everyone that was there is of a high level, but of course, I didn't think that's the level of wealth the guy had.
Yeah.
Like we probably walked past him, and to be fair, I've met 3 billionaires so far, and bro, most of them you just won't even think much.
You'd never think it.
You walk past them, and you won't even.
That says a lot.
You won't even think anything about them. You just think they're just regular guys.
Crazy, man. Nah, I appreciate you sharing that, bro. So tell us a bit about Real Property Ventures. Started in 2018, right?
Yeah. So formed the company. Then this is, by the way, just put in context, this is my property investment company. So what we do is basically acquire property. So this could be a home, 3 to 4 bedroom house. We would then convert that into HMOs. So people don't know what HMOs are. That is houses of multiple occupation. So in effect, simple terms, layman terms, a house share, people sharing a house facility. So for me, even deciding on that as my investment strategy, for me, how I came about that is because I wanted to get clear on what it is I wanted to get out of property. For me, I wanted ownership and I wanted high cash flow. And that kind of eliminates majority of the strategies that are available to you in the property investment world. So I said, okay, this is the strategy I wanted to do and I wanted to execute. So therefore, I wanted to learn and become the best at this.
Of course,
and kind of own the space or be known in the space for that thing. So I paid to be in rooms. I remember I paid $2,500 just to kind of know online and be in a room full of people doing bigger deals than me.
Whoa.
And that $2,500 is the reason why I've done the deals I've done. Because again, my first deal, back to brick conversion. I've never done a conversion in my life. I bought my home at that time. A year later, I decided I want to start now investing money into investment properties. First property, literally got the whole place up. People couldn't say it's scary. Love conversion, 3-meter array extension. So that's a big project for someone kind of starting out. But again, how I got confident to be able to do that deal was 1, I had the knowledge base. 2, I had the network. And 3, I employed the right people. You can shortcut so many things on this planet. You don't have to know every single little detail. Hire the best, and I promise you the rest is history. Like, that is literally why I did that. People are, how do you know how to convert HMO? I'm like, bro, I never converted HMO in my life. I just went and found someone who's done it 10 times over. And use them. Like, if I'm happy with the work that they've done and I want to hire them, I'm hiring them. And again, some people might argue, it's a premium cost to kind of go over a construction company, all this thing. But I'm trying to make this investment as risk-free as possible. So I'm not trying to manage trades, individual trades, and try and save some 10 grand here. Like 10 grand, some people seem like a lot of money, but I'm like, 10 grand, I'd rather have, I can sleep at night knowing peace of mind than trying to like just save like penny pinch. I've never been a penny pinch, and I think it's come from the corporate world. We hired people that brought value to the company. And that is that, and that very simply, like, if you bring value, we'll exchange money for the value you bring to the table. So, i.e., when I'm recruiting people, I'm like, what value can you bring to Alfred? If I like the value, I'm paying you a fee. I'm not trying to argue it because I know that value you're adding to me is worth more than what I'm paying you. And so I'm exchanging value with you. So that's how I kind of found a team. We then rapidly scaled. We've done 6, 7, 8 bedroom HMO conversions. And I kind of stuck to that niche as a strategy. Just so I can become the go-to guy, the guy that converts HMOs. And as well, I'm known for is raising finance. And the reason why I've obviously been able to buy multiple properties, probably people think, how is this guy buying multiple properties, is because I leveraged, again, people around me. I was fortunate to be in a working environment whereby people had good salaries. They were generally of an older crowd and therefore had some money around them in terms of savings. And I was very vocal of what it is I was doing, whether I was going to investing in courses.
Very transparent with it.
I'm transparent about everything. So that played in my favor, because when it came to me wanting to raise capital, people already see me grinding. People see me leave work on a Friday, do a 3-day weekend, come back Monday, like, how's your weekend? I was like, I'm sat in a classroom for 3 days, learning about property investment. So I've always been very vocal about what it is I'm up to. And then when it came to the time, it's like, it wasn't like, Alfred just got up today and was trying to buy property. He's been grinding for the last year.
Putting in the work, exactly.
Doing viewings, all that stuff. So all of that, there's a lot of things, network, being in the right places, getting the right education, kind of shaped how I created this company. And now we're like, 4 million? £2 million in property at the moment.
Nice.
And that's in the space of what, 2.5. So I formed the company in 2018.
Yeah.
But I didn't acquire anything till Feb 20.
Okay, cool.
So February 2020 till what we now, November 2022.
2022, yeah.
Yeah.
2 years and a bit, yeah.
Yeah, two years and a bit. So we've been aggressive, and it's all through scale, leverage, banks, private investors, and then keep moving.
How do you find your properties?
How do I find them?
How do you source? Yeah.
So at the beginning, I sourced them through on market. So a lot of people were surprised. I got some good deals. Seen on my YouTube, you see the projects I've got, showcasing the numbers, all that stuff on my channel. So people kind of surprised, how did you come, like, this is kind of lucrative. How did you get it? Like, it was on the market. Yeah. I think what I did different was I wasn't going for properties that are just freshly come on the market. And this is a trick. So I am going to find properties that have sat on the market for 3-4 months in good locations. Yeah. And it's not because the property's bad. Just looking at the perception was, if it's in a good street, why is it not sold? It's 3 months. It's because the owner was being greedy and thought they can get, I'm not being greedy, but they just maybe sold a dream value on the price they can get for their property. So they're just waiting for this price, and people come and gone, not lost interest. Yeah. And now it's like people that were willing to buy are now have bought other properties.
They've gone elsewhere, yeah.
Exactly. So now I'm this guy who's saying I'm credible, I can buy. Look, I know you want this number. This is my number. Sometimes I even still paid him the number, but what I did there was, because I know they've waited for so long, I'll give you a number, but let me go through planning. So planning is basically getting a permission to be able to convert the building into. I always used to kind of go more than 6, 7, which requires you to kind of go through the council and get planning permission to do that. So that was my leverage. Yeah. And then sometimes if the deal was lucrative enough, I would even offer $5,000 to kind of say, look, or I might kind of give security. I'll do like a $5,000 deposit, not refundable if I don't proceed, if I get planning, because I can go through the planning and decide it's not whatever, change your mind. So I kind of just, again, that's a level of commitment for me to kind of make sure I make it happen.
It shows that you're actually
So it's positioning. So there's a number of things on the market, being presented to myself as a credible person. And guys, if you're starting out, do not call yourself a newbie on my first deal. All this language stuff, you're just throwing yourself under the bus. You can't call an agent like, I'm trying to secure my first deal. Like, like, who's this fucking joker?
Like, no, it's true though.
Just say, look, I'm in the area. Even if you haven't even bought a deal, just say, look, I've got some properties on this street, that street. Obviously, you know the area. Just name the streets where you think the agent will know. I'm like, clearly this guy knows the area, he knows what he's doing. He says he's got some projects, he's refurbishing around the corner. He's looking to add more to his portfolio. That sounds more credible. You're already in a different bracket to someone's calling and saying, I'm fine.
This is literally how you're marketing yourself.
Yeah. So for me, I was very good at positioning, marketing myself to people, even if I was doing my first deal. Look, right now I'm sat here. I'm trying to convince business owners who have built a business for 20 years, business that worth 3, 4, 5 million, doing about 8 to 10 million in revenue. I've never bought business before, but I'm not going to that means it's my first business I'm buying. Obviously, if they ask a question, I'll be like, the first time acquiring a business, but we've got this team that's done this, done that, blah, blah. So I'm leveraging my team again to show expertise, to show credibility, and so being able to be able to acquire the business in the first place. Yeah. So there's a lot going on, man, but it's for me, marketing, sales, these are all skill sets you need to be able to succeed in property.
Sick. And I'm assuming that the properties you're acquiring, you keep them, right? Or do you ever acquire them? Sell, or what's your usual?
So for me, everything I like to retain. I'm in it for the long game. I want to buy, hold, and just basically get paid to wait for it to go back in value. In essence, I have no need to sell a property. Don't want to. Don't get me wrong. Maybe in the future, I keep saying that I'm not going to suddenly think property wise. I want to buy and sell businesses. So I'll buy a business and sell it. But property, I feel I like the long term holding of it and getting rental income from that property. That's kind of my philosophy around that.
Cool. Yeah. And if you know, I know we haven't really touched on this, but your version of finding investors was just who you were surrounded by. Yeah. Let's take somebody who wants to follow your path. They want to find investors. What's the best way for them to find these investors?
So there is no magic. Go to this building. Go to Arab. Go to Dubai. And you're gonna meet. And obviously, being in the right buildings obviously creates the opportunity to be able to touch or like come in contact with somebody that has wealth.
Of course, yeah.
But even if you met a multi-millionaire and you're starting out your journey, how would you provide value to that person? If you don't even know how to position yourself in that conversation, it doesn't matter if the person has money readily available, could even show you the bank account. You're not exchanging no value because you can't see the value you want to bring to him.
That's true.
So I always say, look, when I was starting out, I started with the people closest to me. My work colleagues, people might say, I haven't got nobody around me. I'm like, have you, my follow-up question is, have you actually even attempted to even have a conversation about what do people do with their money? What kind of returns are they seeing? And then you're not asking for money. This is just inquisitive stuff.
Yeah.
Like
just general
bro,
chat.
Where do you put your money? Where do you invest in? What kind of returns are you seeing? If you start hearing someone say, I'm seeing 2%, 3%, the value exchange now is, I can provide you 6%. I can provide you 8%. How does that sound? That now sounds enticing versus, bro, you got money. Like, doesn't quite work.
Yeah.
People need to know what's in it for them. So when you're approaching people, your friends, family, work colleagues, whatever, bro, it could be your postman. I don't care who it is. You're having conversations, just to have chit chats with people. Like, again, I guess the character trait here, which is you have to be sociable. Good. You have to know how to have conversations. You know how to kind of, again, messaging. We're not asking. I never feel like I'm asking for money. I feel like I'm offering opportunity. Yeah. And you're in it to make a killing. I'm here making people rich. If you don't want to be rich, someone else be rich. Yeah. That's fine.
Word.
But I've offered it to you. So you can't say, Alfred, you didn't. Bro, I told everyone.
I told you.
When I'm out here, like I'm going to make people millionaires for sure. Yeah. And when people don't be like, Alfred is changed. I'm like, no, I've been saying.
Said it.
I've been saying. So don't come back. Don't come on, man. Like let's not, man. Please. I've always offered it. Yeah. People around me. So if you can take the opportunity, great. If you can't, don't be like, Alfred's leveled up and he's left us behind. He's now with these super wealthy people and that's all he's around. I'm like, bruv, what do you want me to do? Like,
you had your chance, B. I hear it.
Literally.
And what does so let's say I was an investor. I've given you 50 grand.
Yeah.
I've said, Alfred, here's the money. Yeah. Don't run away with my money. I beg. I want my returns. How do I go about? How does that return come back to me?
Yeah, so when I was starting out, I used to obviously want to utilize the capital up front and not need to service it. So servicing debt is basically you paying interest on the money on a monthly basis, for example. So I used to kind of have an incentive. Again, everyone's like, what's in it for me? Like, you have to think, what's going to make someone do a deal with you?
Yeah.
So if I know someone's happy with 6% and I'm trying, because I want a deal to work for me as well.
Yeah.
They're happy with 6, but I want it to work for me in the sense I want to pay on the back end. So let's say 50 grand, 12 months. Yeah. I need to entice them. So I need to move the interest rate to 8, maybe 9. Yeah. For them to say, you know what? Rather than me getting money monthly on interest only, I'll wait to the end so I can get a bigger chunk of money. Mm-hmm. So again, and before even that happens, you're trying to even find out what's important for them. They might tell you, look, I'm busy with my career, family focus. I want to spend time with my family. Like, oh, cool. What do you guys want to get up to? Like, do you like to travel? Do you like to do experiences? Oh, how much does that usually cost? Yeah. So you're already kind of positioning numbers in your head. I'm analytical. My background is engineering, so I've got some traits that kind of help me out already. Yeah. So I'm analyzing through conversations. Yeah. So if this guy's like, we like to travel to Dubai and stuff, I already know like that's upwards of 5 grand. You got 2 kids. Yeah. Easy 5 grand holiday minimum. Yeah. So now if you're borrowing me money, I'm thinking, okay, how can I get you either some of the money or even all the money in interest? Basically, the bit that you're saying you need money for, you'd like to be doing more with your family. I'm creating a value proposition around that stuff now. So look, you can invest 50 grand and 8%, that's 4 grand over 12 months. So in 12 months time, you've just doing absolutely nothing. You've now just generated 4 grand, which now next year you can put towards your family holiday with your family. Yeah. So it's working through that messaging and just working through like fact finding. You're listening. Sales is all about listening more than talking. And you're trying to see how can I provide value and how can I therefore create that value exchange where that person gives me what I need and I give them what they need. And then that way the deal's done. I've not made it very simple, but that is what in essence you're trying to do.
That's the general process of it.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is a bit cheeky, but has there ever been a case where you've made a promise of the interest and you're thinking, I don't know if this money will be ready in time? Has that ever happened?
No. So the way deals work is I'm borrowing capital. I like to call it working capital. Yeah. Which I then go and use to buy either property, refurbished property. Yeah. So it's just
like a bridge or
bridge and loan plus investor finance. So usually bridge and loans will probably equate to about 70% from the bank. Yeah. And about 30% equity in the deal. And then obviously there's development finance as well, which the bank can lend, which is basically like giving you the amount to be able to refurbish property.
Do what you need to do, yeah.
But even that element, you still need the upfront money to start the works, and they kind of pay you in arrears of you spending the money and obviously qualifying the works have done correctly.
Got you.
So there will be cases where there's refinances maybe not landing in time where the investor's due to be paid back. But this again, for me, it's money management. So I have a pot of money. I know I'm owed this person at this time. I know I'm owed that person this time. I know I have refinances this time. I know I have income from rental properties coming at these times. So it's like, what's my cash flow position in those times,
Yeah.
and do I have enough, and what's the shortfall? Can I? So again, I'm always in communication prior to them getting their money back, let's say a month in advance.
Okay.
So I know for sure. I've asked the question: are you still needing your money back for whatever reason? Are you thinking about extending it? What are your thought process at the moment? Just get a gauge. If they're like, Alfred, I absolutely need it because I'm going to do this deal myself. I'm going to do something. I've had people give me wedding money. Not like, wait. From the point of view, like they've got extra money, but they've put some money. There's this money sat here doing nothing. And I was giving them the money back, and they've gone and used it for like whatever wedding preparations and stuff, or towards their wedding preparations. So again, just to kind of put it in context, I'm not asking people to give me everything they have. Like, no, this money you're lending to Alfred is money that you're not going to need, regardless of what happens in your life. You lose your job, family emergency. The money's locked away. It says in the contract. Same way, if I decide I want to pay the money back to you sooner rather than later, I'm still due to interest for that period we've agreed. Yeah. So it's vice versa. You can't request the money ahead of the loan schedule in terms of when it ends. So it's just money management. And even if I'm sure, if I have to raise more money to kind of make the shortfall, knowing that in an extra number of weeks or even a month, whatever, the refund is coming to replace it, that's fine. So I'm literally just managing. So I do a lot of like literally managing what's coming in, what's going out, who to when, expenses, all that stuff. So money management is big when dealing with people's money. I treat like it's not even to say people's money. I treat it like it's my money. Yeah, I'm managing and making sure I haven't got issues, cash flow problems. So money management is what allows me to not have to, I guess, have sleepless nights. I sleep like a baby. You probably won't believe it, but like I know what I'm doing. I have plans in place. There's nothing that I'm stressing over. I don't even like the word stress. I like the word pressure. There's always pressure. Pressure, don't like stress.
No, I like that. Well, you're not going to like this question then. So the next question actually was, what was double-sided? What's the most fun thing about what you do? And the other side was, what was the biggest stress? Well, we're going to say, what's the biggest pressure?
Yeah.
And then what's the thing that you enjoy the most about what you do?
I think there's a social element to what I do in terms of meeting people, networking, connecting with people. So obviously the business, there isn't really excitement, I would say, like in developing. I'm not one to lie and say, oh yeah, I get excited about like interior design of the property or the scheme I'm doing. Like that's couldn't care less. I'm numbers guy. What I put in ways to bring out on it, like literally numbers. What is it? So maybe the end result of it providing income is what excites me. Okay. So, but I've got to wait 8 months to see that fruition. And so then in between that, the pressures are like, obviously, one, raising finance, because I've never been in a position where I've always had money sat there ready to go into a deal, believe it or not. All my deal, every single one, I have had to raise money after I've got the offer accepted. We've even started now get the surveys done through solicitors, get the architects on, start doing drawings. I'm committing. And I'm just trying to figure the rest out as I go along. I'm all in. And again, I feel like when you commit, you figure the rest out. Honestly, it's a simple principle. Just commit. I promise you, you will figure the rest. If you're truly 100% committed to what it is you're about to do, you'll find a way to do it. So this is my philosophy. This is what I do. I just commit, and I know I'm all in. I'm like, there's no way I don't do the deal. I've had some cheeky replies. Oh, if you fail to raise the money for a reason, just source the deal. I'm like, I just think this for a fucking dickhead. Like, do you think I've gone through this trouble to now say I'm going to give a great?
So now go and give it
for me, I'm already like, I guess, visualizing the end product and what that end product is to me. That's a £500,000 asset. That's a £2,000 cash flow position on that property. So that's what that means to me. So I'm going to do whatever it takes. Speak to whoever I need to speak to, get uncomfortable with whoever I need to get uncomfortable to do the deal.
Make it happen.
Exactly. As a guy, there's no way. My replies are like, listen, there is no way I don't raise the money. It's impossible.
This is the man to put your money in, you know. What? You're better than my bank. No, we love that, bro. And what's the biggest myth? Because as a mortgage professional, I have hella property myths. And I don't even know where they come from sometimes. I thought if people just chat. But what's the biggest myth as far as property investment goes?
People obviously perceive. I think the biggest one is you need to save really, continuously save to be able to get the deposit. Okay. And there's obviously creative ways. And again, you don't. This subject of you don't know what you don't know. Like there's a little pie chart I got presented once, and this pie chart basically there's 1% slice of the pie which says this is what you know. There's another 2% of stuff you don't know. Like you're aware of it, but you don't know.
But you know that you don't know it well.
Yeah, you don't know it. And there's a whole 97% of stuff you don't even know you don't know. Like it's not even on your radar.
They got a clue, bro.
So just to give a prime example, prior to me looking at property as a vehicle, at university I used to think of it, I'm going to save up during my career.
Okay, cool.
Buy a property maybe every 2 years through the savings I make from my job, from my earnings. Only to then go to a course to be told, oh, by the way, you can go about creative finance in your deals, i.e. leveraging the bank, going to a private investor or an individual. I hate using the word investor as well. They're just individuals, just people.
Yeah.
So finding people that you can provide value to, i.e. what we described before, where they're getting a better return on their money, and them being enticed to want to give you the money, and you can then utilize that to go and scale your property portfolio or go and buy a property or refurbish a property, whatever it is you need to do.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Like,
Gobsmacked.
Even like the whole credit card, like leveraging credit cards, like bank loans, like just financing in general. When I learned, I was like, damn, like for me, like it was like a big light bulb moment. I'm like, I know people that need money. I know I'm around people that have money, and if the opportunity makes sense for them, they'll do it.
They'll do it.
So even like the reason why I formed the company in 2018. I didn't do a deal. Again, because of the mindset of one, I need to buy my home first. I bought a home first. Cool, put out of the way. But in between that time, I was like, okay, how can Alfred make money? Because I had sunk 25 grand into like a mentorship, 4 courses with this company. So I'm like, okay, cool. So that second course where we learned creative finance, when I learned that, I was like, damn, bro, I'm already, at that time, I'm probably making about 60K now in my corporate job. So I was like, okay, cool. What can Alfred do to even earn more? Some people think 60 grand, you're set. Little do you know. So I'm like, okay, how can I do something outside of work that earns me another 20, 30 grand? And that was events. So because I used to go all the time, I was friends with all the promoters. I know promoters, the way they used to do deals in the past. Now it doesn't work as much. Even in the game, it doesn't work anymore. But prior, artists will come and perform for like 5, 10 grand. Now, mate, your Backstreet Boys, someone who's not even like on the radar like that, is even trying to charge you 10 grand. And they can't even pull an audience like that just yet. So all your big guys, all the Tions, Heady One, bro, they're like 20 grand now. Before we used to get those guys for like 10 grand. And you can make a good money from that night.
For real.
So I was thinking, okay, cool. The value proposition is I know a promoter that needs money. I'm the middleman between them and people I know around me that have that level of money and they trust me to be able to utilize that money and we can all win. So me and the promoter, we're going to do business. We do the event. Obviously, the event happens. We then pay back our investors with their return, and then we make profit split between the two of us. So I was cleaning like 20, 30 grand a year extra on top of my income just by doing. And these were like short-term loans. So what helped build me with being able to raise finance as well as I was doing these. I used to do 5, 10 grand loans for like 2-3 months to go do the event, bring the money back. So every time it built up to like 50 grand for like a freshers event. And that's freshers event, as you guys know, it's basically like a week of events.
A week
like
of pure vibes.
Yeah. Some can be going for like a month. But yeah, we invested 50 grand into like getting artists and stuff. Come and perform. And that was like an income stream for me. Without, again, zero work for me. I was just the middleman. And the beauty of business, I've always said, middlemen make the most money out of everyone. The person actually doing the business doesn't make more. The person that's in the middle of the whole thing are the highest earners. It's insane. They're not doing the work. My promoter was the one delivering on the thing. All my job was raising finance. That was like, Alfred, we need 20 grand. Okay, cool. Leave that with me. I'll go work that.
Go get it.
Then again, events. I never went to any of these events. These were events in Coventry, Warwickshire Uni. I didn't go to a single one. My role, it was very clear. You're the promoter, you're the guy, 9 years experience doing raves in this area, police, everybody, council, everybody knows you. You're the go-to guy when it comes to events. I'm the go-to guy when it comes to raising the money. So just come to me, I get the money, you do your thing, and we split that.
I know, that's sick.
So, man. Yeah, man.
And out of all your investments, your property investments,
what's
your favorite one?
It's going to be a cliche answer. I'm myself, innit? Like, myself. And here's this. Okay, let's quantify that. I spent 20. Property education. I probably spent maybe upwards of. I spent 25 on like a company. I spent that 2.5 grand. I talked about being a network of big thinkers. That was literally the reason why I paid that 2.5 grand. I spent another 6 grand on a mentorship program. Probably call it, and also there'll be networking events, site visits, all that stuff. So
all that
just
stuff,
round. Let's say 45 grand spent on that. I'm now starting a £4 million portfolio. So, and that generates on average, every property is bringing as low as 1,005 to as high as 2.4 a month cash flow. So if you just start accumulating, I've got a few properties now. So like, just do the maths. Like, so like my ambition of making, even or thinking about making 100 grand in the corporate world, like that's been blown out of the water easy. Like, bro, two more properties generate that. You know what I mean? A year. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, come on, that's nothing, and that's just one thing. I've got the mastermind that I run. Again, that brings in money every single month. Yeah, I've got members that obviously wanted to learn what I do. Of course, and again, for me, it's still fairly cheap. Like, remember, it's £3,000 to join for the year, and I feel like I provide more value. It's going to go up to £5,000 in the next week or two, because I feel like there's people on there getting results, learn how to raise finance, the testimonials, all the facts are there. Like, I don't need to even sell you it. Like, just go look at the website. www.realpropertyventures.co.uk and then plug that one in there. Yeah, go check out. Honestly, like, you see the testimonials, people raising finance, people saving money in being part of the mastermind. Because the thing is, what accelerated my journey is having a network where you can go and ask questions to. Because the course is one thing. Like, you learn stuff on the course, you're boosted, all that stuff. Yeah. But then you get back to your corporate world, most likely, and you're like, back to the slug. I'm just. Yeah. So if you haven't got that accountability, you haven't got a place where you can go and ask questions when you start actually implementing the information you've learned, because you will have, trust me, 10,000 questions, or how, like, there's nuances, like even interest rates. Oh, what's the best way? Like in this current market, like, should I do a fixed variable mode? Like, what's the option? Should I do 2-year fixed, 5-year fixed? The course don't teach you that. I've not even heard a course talking about variable rates versus fixed rate. It doesn't. So having someone who's actively doing deals, 1, 2, actively raising finance, 2, and has a community of people around him that's like in the game.
That's done it. Yeah.
I mean, that's priceless, and literally that is what accelerated my job. So that's why I created this mastermind group. And bro, we've got like 35 members now.
Amazing, man.
I'm trying to 10x that shit. I'm trying to get to 300, bro. So like, I'm blowing that up. And again, that's another business. Yeah. And obviously I do consultation calls and stuff. So all these are, and again, this is what people forget. Once you learn a skill, like right now, I can charge anybody to teach them how to raise finance. Yeah. All you guys are trying to find out how to raise finance. I can just say, look, it's £5,000, it's £10,000, it's 20 grand. Yeah. This is what I'm worth. This is what the knowledge. Because if I teach you how to raise £1 million and you pay 20 grand, in my mind, that's a steal. Yeah. I feel like maybe I structure 20 grand, and every money you raise, I get commission off that as well.
Quick 5% on everything.
Do you know what I mean? So it's valuable. Do not see it as you're paying money to just to be taught something. See it as, once you acquire that information, you can now monetize that potentially in the future. Yeah. Because when you get a success that comes with acquiring the information and implementing it, you can now monetize that.
For real.
You can put any price. Look, a consultation call with me right now is £1,000 an hour. You want to sit down with me for an hour? £1,000, please.
Let's do it.
And the people are like, this is arrogant. I'm just telling you, I've spent upwards of 100 grand to be in rooms, to ask certain questions, to learn certain information. I just told you, I just pay 2.5 just to be in a room, just so I can be around big thinkers. People are doing bigger deals than me. I spent 25 grand to just be in a room of multi-millionaires and a billionaire. Yeah. Like,
so you've made the investment in yourself.
Do you know what I mean? So for me, like, I'm not telling you something I haven't done. And I am where I am because of the stuff I made, the choices I made, and the people that I'm surrounding myself with. And more importantly, exposure. Because back to that saying of the 97% of a pie chart you don't even know exists. Like, when you see when a business owner can show you, like, when someone's saying to you, I'll make 10 million, bro, that's good. When you can physically see a fucking account that still shows you 10 million pounds in it, you're like, damn, like someone on this planet really has 10 million, bro. Like, I've had so many conversations with people that have sold businesses, people that are just in business, super wealthy, like, and then they're not shy. They love talking numbers, and this is the thing. Like, in the poor environment, people don't want to talk about how much they even earn. I'm like, bro, what are you so scared about? What you're earning 25, 30, I couldn't get, like, that's nothing. I'm trying to expose you to bigger things, like showing you that people actually are out here seeing real money.
Yeah, for real.
And until you kind of like, again, when you meet the person, you're like, damn, this person's no different to me. And it might be like a thing in your head, but for me, that's what allows me to boost my self-belief of what's possible. Because if I can see the guy across the table that's made the money, I'm like, yo, bro, the story don't even sound mad. Like, it just, you went through troubles, you worked hard to get to where you are. But I can see why, if I was to do the same level of work you've done, I could see myself having the same results. So why wouldn't I?
No, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
No, I appreciate you sharing that, man. And from your point of view, all the investments you made, property investments.
Yeah.
Which one's been the most lucrative?
Property investments. I think my 8-bed, the 8-bed HMO.
Okay.
Because one, it's like 2 minutes from the station. It's the only property where like if someone says they're moving out, like there's no voids. Yeah. Like we just put it on the market. Rooms amazing. Yeah. Rented and people literally, you're moving out, someone's moving in. So there's no voids or nothing. So my 8-bed, that property grosses about $5,000 a month. So again, look at that. Just put the numbers. That's $60,000 a year. Assuming all rooms which in reality all rooms are rented all out through the year. So that's $60,000 from just one property a year. I'm probably netting about 40% of that profit.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So it doesn't even take much to kind of replace your yearly salary if you're on like a low paying job, if you're not a high earner. So property is a lucrative way, but I do have to be honest and say as well, I guess through my exposure, property is the slowest way you can make money. Facts. Okay. Nobody can tell you different. Like, people market property and sounds amazing. Oh, you become a millionaire. Bro, like I know people are making money faster than, like, put in context. A HMO project I do, I am sinking hundreds of thousands of pounds. Like average, most deals 120 grand all in. Yeah. So, and I'm sinking money from day one, offer accepted, to 8 months where it's actually tenanted before I see my first $4,000, $5,000 check come. So that's the game you're playing. Whereas there's business owners that can put off, even, let's put it this way, service businesses. So you providing a service, so I can provide your service to you where I can say, let me edit your videos for you. I'll £200. Yeah. I can scale that. Time, obviously, you're still trading time for money, but the point is, you can very quickly start to kind of build a business, a brand. Of course. And then guess what? Now you become assuming you become a business owner, i.e. from the point of view, you start seeing from a business point of view, where you start hiring people who start editing videos for you too. Yeah, not the guy who's editing videos. You're just the guy that's going out selling your services. Exactly. And telling these guys, we've got a client here, you're gonna edit his videos for him every single month on a retainer for them. So if one of your workers has 3 retainers, let's say each of them are earning £1,000 each month from each client. Yeah. Bro, that's £3,000 from one person. The next one is going to pay him a portion of that for his salary for the time, for the work that he's doing. But the point, you're now starting to create a business. Yeah. And that's relatively quick to kind of scale. Exactly. You're not going to see, even 8 months, I've made my £2,000 from my property. Someone's in 8 months has built a business, established themselves, showed that they could do good work. Got branches. Come on, man. They've got 9 employees. Who's helping them out? Bro, don't take long to start getting retainers. So service-based businesses are great. Yeah. And then product-based businesses, obviously, again, you can relatively get that quickly to the market. And obviously, if it's a great product, zoom down your research, you can start generating revenue. $2,500 a month in product sales is not even nothing. Yeah. Like, exactly. That's 25 products, 25 items at £100. Yeah. No, so just do the maths. Again, people don't kind of, again, I guess another myth, kind of come back to your question about myths. People have never done the maths on what it actually takes to make money. Mm-hmm. Like the £1 million maths. You're gonna make 10 million. What do you have to be doing to make 10 million? Like what skill set do you need to have? What kind of opportunity, what kind of vehicle, more importantly, do you need to be in that can get you there the quickest or whatever, however fast you want to do it? So just do the maths on that. And you very, very quickly start to see that, oh, okay, this is my route, or this is not a route. Yeah. Like, so I asked someone this question, I mean, this is how high level I'm thinking now. If I asked this question about maybe 2 years ago. Yeah. I put in my Instagram, what is your 100, I mean, not 2 years, maybe a year ago. I asked, what's your £100 million plan? So I'm trying to, just put in context, I'm trying to become a billionaire. Like for me, I don't see why I don't become a billionaire. There's so much money in this planet. Yeah. There's more money in the planet than anything else. Yeah. But kind of coming back to that, I'm like, what's your £100 million plan? Someone's like, property. I'm like, bro, do you know what it means to have £100 million equity in property? You need to have at least $500 million. Yeah. How are you going to go, like, what's your plan to acquire the frame was 5 years. Yeah. So how are you going to go about acquiring $500 million in real estate in 5 years? Unless you're going to build a super team that are buying these huge assets. I'm sorry, it's not happening. Yeah. Like, it's very, you got to do some big deals. £50 million acquisitions, £100 million acquisitions to kind of get to 500 million. Like, you're not going to do that buying HMOs. I'm sorry. It's clearly not the right vehicle. Do you know what I mean? But in business, you don't have to have an amazing business. You can see those type of, because again, the way businesses are valued is based on your profits and the multiplier of that profits. And depending on what industry you are, some profits could be as high as 10, 20, 30. Some clothing brands are like 30, 40%, 40 times their profits.
It's true.
So 100 million plan don't even need to be, is the maths on that is not even that crazy versus other vehicles that are out there. So just do the maths on things. Do the maths on the vehicle you're in, do the maths on opportunity, and that will kind of steer you which one makes more sense.
Sick. No, I appreciate that, Alfred, man. And last few questions, actually. You do what you love.
Everyone asks us, bro. I'm like, I'm where the money's at.
I hear that.
I'll be so real.
And that leads into the next question. So think about what you made last year, whatever that number is in your head, times it by 3. Would you do something that you hate for that amount?
See, right now, this is a hard question to answer, and here's why. Yeah. I've been exposed to wealth. Like I know I have a plan. I know how I can make $1 billion. Like a year ago, I didn't know how to make $1 billion. Now I do.
Got you.
So I'm very like I've always been kind of very clear what it is I want to achieve.
Yeah.
So I can say no to opportunities, even that the money that they're offering is more than what I'm making right now.
Got you.
Because I have a clear vision. I have a clear conviction and self belief of what I can achieve, and therefore I can comfortably say no. Like perfect example, COVID. Bro, I had friends that were making million. Bro, I had, again, this, for me, I stopped talking to you about numbers. Let's see accounts. I was shown 7-figure accounts in crypto. I didn't think, let me just jump the wheel because I'm like property slow money, crypto, people just investing money here, the left, right, center, and then just killing it. I said no. Like, why don't I need to get involved in that? For me, there's a reason why I'm doing what it is I'm doing. So focus on that. And I think my key attribute is I've always stayed focused.
Okay.
I don't get distracted. So yeah, people can show me they're making money here. Bro, I'm around business owners that doing 50 million, 100 million. Like I can very be like, yeah, I'm in the wrong vehicle clearly. But I know why I am in this property vehicle, and it's serve a purpose. And I'm not going to build a huge portfolio of properties.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much calling it quits. I think two more. I start calling it quits. Calling it quits on my phase 1 of my property investment journey. Now my vision is, how do I buy an apartment block that's 200 units, 300 units, worth 20, 30, 40, 100 million. Yeah. That's the plan.
Got you.
The thought process I'm on now. And also I'm in business where I'm trying to buy businesses as well. So there's that as well. And I know these are all wealth creation strategies. And again, because I've been in the right rooms, I know how to do it. I know how to raise the finance for it, structure the deals. And I paid to get access to the information.
Invested in it,
you don't know. I literally, a year ago, 2 years ago, I didn't know, maybe more than that, didn't know what merchant acquisition was.
Yeah.
M&A was a foreign language to me. Now, I'm like, bro, that's the world's biggest hidden secret. This is how all your Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk just acquired Twitter. What do you think that did to his net worth?
Yeah.
Went up. So there's these magic jumps in company valuations, because the companies are going around acquiring small other companies, bolting onto the company, which adds value, and therefore their multipliers now increase. And therefore, like, how do people just overnight 20 billion valuation added to the net worth?
The net worth,
like, that's because they're buying businesses.
Yeah, it's true.
That's the trick. And they're selling, acquiring new ones. And as I say, it's the biggest hidden thing that to mankind that exists that should be said more.
Damn.
But I've shared it with you guys. So lucky you guys.
We might have to get Mr. Dzadey back to talk about that acquisition, because that one sounds tasty. I can't even lie to you, bro.
That's where the real money's at, bro.
That's where it's at. Bro, we're definitely getting him back then. Bro, where can we find you, man? Where can we find you?
I'm on the socials, man. I'm on the socials. I've built a brand, Alfred Dzadey, on all platforms. Literally my name, just type it in. I know my name doesn't sound the way it's written. So DZADEY is how you spell my surname. Just type that. Google. When you find all my socials through Google.
You have a website as well.
Everything.
Websites,
bro.
there.
TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, all different types of content. So depending on what you're trying to find or what you're trying to get access to. But Instagram is where you kind of see my day-to-day, what I'm up to. So Instagram, follow me on Instagram. But yeah.
Hey, my guy, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you, bro. Guys, the details for the social media will be at the bottom of this video. Anyway, I'm also going to leave a code at the bottom for £10,000 in investment into your first property from Alfred. We'll be giving out freebies for Christmas, so watch out for this one. And the job was 50k starting salary for the chauffeur. Also comes with a free card that you get to keep if you leave. So my peoples, love for listening. And again, it's been your boy Clarence K, CK Talks Money, and my man here, Alfred Dzadey. Look into the socials. Watch out for the next episode. Peace.
No, cool.